What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing the new Sniper Fight Box and Animation Throwdown. We're going to start off with the legendary pre-combo of the box, Knife Fight Stewie. And let me just start out by saying, I love this pre-combo. I think it is a great one to run on defense. It has an amazing health stat at 64, and you guys know me, I look for anything above 50, but if you're above 60, you're in top tier quality right there. On top of that, I really like its skill set there for Hijack, Cripple, and Craze. I think those are phenomenal skills to have in a defensive pre-combo. Anything with Hijack is always good to run on defense because a lot of your opponents will be running Craze against you, so that's a good way to kind of stall them out and steal that attack value from them. And on top of that, this card itself has that Craze value, so it will be getting stronger turn over turn. It's true the starting attack value at 13 is a bit on the lower end, however, with that cripple stat that you have there on top of your high HP, it's going to give this card a much better chance of being able to build its Craze value up before it gets taken out. So, all in all of those work really well together, and I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be great to run during the ARM Battleground effect, and even outside of that, I think it's going to be a great card in general to run on defense in a defense deck as a filler card if you need a filler pre-combo, or even for Siege for a Family Guy island. I think this is a great card to run defensively, because I do know a good strategy for Family Guy is to run Viking Peters for that Craze, and this is a good kind of counterpoint to that. So I think it's a phenomenal card in that own right there. Now let's take a look at the legendary items of the box. First up is the new Mobile Oppression Palace. This is the new offensive card. This is the card to run in your attack deck. Its attack stat at 20 is right there at top tier as far as items go for attack. Defense-wise, it does only have 34 HP, which is pretty low, so I would not recommend running it in a defense deck. While it's true it does have the Sturdy Wall and Payback, which are great defensive skills, it's not going to really mean much of anything if a combo that's played against you has enough punch value to just demolish through the HP anyways, so I would still avoid running this card on defense because of that. It's a shame, though. It has such great skills there to run on defense. It even has the Leech there, so that is a killer set of skills that were great on a defensive item, but unfortunately its stats don't really lean itself towards that, so you're better off running this card on offense in my opinion because of that. And the next item in the box is another new one, Purity Dads. This is a really good, well-balanced item in my opinion. It's got fairly decent attack. It's not too OP in that regard, but it does have a really good defense at 50, and its skill set does also go really well on defense, and because of that 50 HP stat, I think that's great to run with that. As I mentioned about the previous card, you have the Sturdy Wall on this one, which is a great defensive stat, and as I mentioned for the pre-combo, I love anything with Hijack on defense, so really good card in that regard. It also does have 10 jab, which is nice, so that will be helping you break through those armed shields for the Battleground effect right now, so another really useful skill to have on this card. And the last item in the box is an older item, but it's one of my favorites for Armed, the Doomsday Device. This is probably more of an attack card than a defensive one as it comes to items, because 37 HP is way too low in my opinion to run in a defense deck. The 16 attack is kind of middle ground average now. Back when this was a new card, that was the high at the time, but now a lot of the newer cards, as you're seeing, do have 20 attack when they're meant to be more like the offensive powerhouses. Don't let that stop you from running this card though. It's still a great item to run in an offense deck. Skill-wise, it also has a bit more power behind it because it does have the good amount of punch there, as well as some bombs for some flank damage, and the cripple all is also nice. But mostly, you're going to want to be making your offensive combos with this card. And speaking of combos, you'll notice we didn't cover any of them on the other items in this box. That's because they pretty much make all more or less the same exact combos that we went in detail on last week in the box review. So if you missed that, be sure to check out that video. The link will be up on screen and also in the description. However, there is one combo that we did not cover last week, so we'll go over that really quick right now. And that combo is Shark Killer with Teddy. That's right, as you guys have probably already seen in-game, Teddy is a brand new Mythic card that they just released this week. So you can make the Shark Killer combo with him with pretty much almost all of the armed items. I do know you can make him with all of the items in this box. As far as pre-combos go, I think that he is a great combo to run for offense as support there. You have a good chunk of Motivate and Cripple All. Both are great support skills to kind of buff up your card line And then the cripple all is just always nice to stall out your opponent so they can't be causing damage to you. And he has a lot of leech, so he's a self-healer, so I really like him as a kind of supporter combo in there. He can also work for you a bit on defense, but I would be hesitant to run him at the base level, as the 40 HP on the Teddy Mythic is towards the lower end, so he's a bit of a risk there. I do like his base skills though. With Payback and Hijack, they're great defensive skills. My only concern is that HP stat, so I'd say once you level him up a bit, if you can get the Mythic Stones for him a few times and increase that HP pool a bit, you'll find more success in a defensive deck with him. And that's going to do it for all of the items in the box. Now let's take a look at the characters. So first up is Philip J. Fry, one of my favorite characters in this game. He's a phenomenal character from the show Futurama itself, but also he's just a great character card in this game alone, as he makes a lot of the OP combos in this game across a lot of the different battleground effects. As far as his stats go, he's definitely more of an attacker than a defender. 38 HP is insanely low for a card to be on defense. It is a one-shot risk because of that. His skills don't really matter in that regard, just because you would be running him more offensive than defense, but just so that we cover everything, he does have that 7 payback there, which is a nice defensive skill. So if for whatever reason he does survive the one shot, then you will be dealing some payback damage in there. Also, if you choose not to combo him immediately but combo another card instead, he does have an insane amount of boost there at 10 to just buff up his attacks for each other combo you make. You do also have the 10 shield there to Futurama cards, so he'll do wonders in a Futurama Siege deck, or just in a deck in general that has a lot of Futurama cards to protect them. However, like I said, that HP is on the lower end, so don't wait too long to combo him, because you're going to want to make sure you get his combos made. And as for his combos, Fry currently makes 3 armed combos in the game right now. The first one is Positron Shooter Fry, which is a really good support combo for him when armed is going on, because it does have heal to armed cards, which is great. It's really hard to find healers sometimes, especially when it comes to rumbles and challenges, so always good to have some healers in your deck. What's also really cool about him is that he does have a high leech value, which means he can heal himself up as well. The problem with a lot of healer cards is most of them have no way of really healing themselves up, and you normally need to have more than one on the field to make sure they're getting healed as well. But you don't really have that problem with Positron Shooter Fry, as he's self-healing, which is really neat. I also really do like that it has the Hijack skill. Normally I prefer Hijack to be on defense, as I do want to kind of stall my opponents out from building their attack up against my deck. However, it can work out pretty well in offense too, especially because Armed has a lot of combos that do have the craze value, so if you happen to run into any combos or cards that your opponents might be running in their defense decks that have the craze value on it, if you want to just kind of prevent them from overtaking you, it's not a bad thing to have in your back pocket there. This second armed combo of his is probably my favorite armed combo when it comes to Fry, Freezer Burn. This is just one of the best armed combos you can make for a good staller deck, in my opinion. It has, when everything is quad fused out, a crazy amount of cripple and gas. Any card that gets thrown up against this is most likely going to be dying within the next turn or two because of that gas damage there. On top of that, the cripple kind of helps protect you from taking damage. If you run a full team of these, you can completely stall out your opponent from being able to hurt you. It does also have heal all to armed, so it's also great healing support. So like I said, if you can get a whole team of these on your side of the field, you're in a pretty good spot to just completely stall out your opponents while also keeping all your cards' HP way the hell up there near full, as long as you're running an armed deck. And the third and final armed combo that you can make with Fry is Congo Jack. This is probably my least favorite combo with him for armed, but don't let that fool you, it's still a pretty good combo in its own right. It does have cripple, just like the Freezer Burn one did, so you can still stall out your opponents, and it does have jab, which does come in handy for breaking through all of those shields that are getting thrown onto armed cards right now for the battleground effect. It does end up replacing its third skill there with Recover instead of anything else though. Recover is an alright skill. Every time you make a new combo, you do increase this card's HP pool by that amount. It's definitely one of my least favorite skills though. As useful as it can be, there's just other skills I like a lot better than that one. So that's kind of why this is my least favorite combo for Fry. It's nothing really against it besides that. I'm just really biased against the recover skill because, like I said, cripple and jab are both amazing skills, but just when I compare this to the other two armed combos he has, I feel like they are more useful, and I would rather be able to use them situationally versus this. Or rather, I should say this one is more situational, whereas those two I can just throw out pretty much any time and they work. So yeah, just my thoughts on Congo Jack. Anyways, with the armed combos out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at my top 5 favorite combos for Fry. First up is going to be Umbriel, the combo you can make with the animal cards with Fry. I really love this combo as a kind of supporter combo for your card line. It has Motivate that can go to any card. It's not just limited to Animal or Futurama, and I love cards that have Motivate because it can really help you jack up your attack value of your entire card line. I also really love that it has the Cripple skill there. You guys know me, I love stalling out my opponent's decks, so anything that has Cripple is always A1 in my book, and I love that it has an insane Bodyguard stat. When you have everything quad fused out to make this, I think that Bodyguard is like in the 20s or somewhere high up there. It has a lot of Bodyguard, is the point I'm trying to make, and if you can build a wall of these out there, you're pretty much protected from a bunch of punches, bombs, gas, all that nasty crap that you don't want to be hit with, so I just love it as support. It is, honestly, it would be a great defensive combo if not for the fact that I hate running Fry on defense with how risky it is to run him. So I would usually run this on offense versus that. But hey, if this combo does get made in a defense deck, then it will be hurting your opponents pretty bad. Number 2 would be Spray On Army Fry. This is one of Fry's disguised combos, and it is a really good kind of support combo as well. It has an insane amount of Bodyguard, just like the animal one did, and on top of that, it also has Shield All that can go to all your cards. It's not limited to just Disguised or Futurama, so on top of your Bodyguard shields, you also are going to have a Shield All to your entire card line. And on top of that too, you also got punches there, so you're dealing out some extra damage. So if you can build a whole wall of these out there, you got a pretty good tanky unbreakable wall that's very difficult to deal with. So it's definitely a cool strat to run during Disguised if you can pull that off. It's definitely a very, very effective deck. And next up, to I'm sure no one's surprise, is Super Dance Squad, Fry's music combo. You can go ahead and make him with almost any music card, and there's nothing not to love about this combo. He's got a really good stack there in the skills there for Sturdy. It's also got Craze and Cheer All that goes to all your cards. So if you build a wall of these, you're going to be cheering on down the line. They'll be crazing turn over turn, and then the Sturdy wall makes it really hard to kind of deal with them before they can kind of craze out of control. So definitely a really good one. I honestly can't wait till they release that combo in Combo Mastery in the shop. I will probably be taking that up to at least level 2. Because it's definitely a combo I run a lot during music. I personally have, I think, 8 or 9 quad fuse Fries, so would not mind running a full deck of those. I think it would be really fun. But yeah, easily up there in my top 5 list. Possibly, I would say top 3 combos for him, to be honest. He's up there. And another one that I'm sure no one is surprised to see, Fry and Robot Disguise, one of Fry's other disguise combos. This is probably his most OP combo that you can make in the game. As you can see, I've definitely already taken mine up to Combo Mastery level 2. That's how much I love this combo. Similar to the Super Dance Squad, it has the Sturdy Wall and the Craze, so it's harder to take out while it builds its attack turn over turn, and to compound that even further, it also has the Leech skill, so any damage that is getting done to it, it's going to be self-healing itself up, which makes it insanely hard to take care of before it just crazes way the hell out of control to be a complete monster that just can't be killed. So yeah, hands down probably one of the most OP combos for Fry. Honestly, one of the most OP combos in the entire game. So anybody looking to build a Fry deck, or if you have a lot of Fry characters and are wondering kind of what boxes to dip into to be most effective with him, save up for a disguise box that has Book of Spells, Witches costumes, cards like those. That's how you make this combo, and you will not be disappointed. He just always performs so well. And last but certainly not least, at number 5, another lousy Millennium. This is the newest drunk combo that they released for Fry in the last drunk Battleground effect, and he is a complete complete monster to deal with. When everything is quad fused out, he has an insane amount of punch. On top of that, you have a crazy amount of jab and leech too, so he pretty much demolishes on through anything. Between the punches, your jabs that'll be tearing through shields and walls like they're made of butter, and his leech stat that'll be healing him up, you're going to have a really rock solid offensive tank. So hands down a top combo in its own right just for that, especially when the Drunk Battleground effect is going on. If you have Fry and the cards to make this, it should most definitely be in your offensive deck. And the other character in the box is Dr. Amy Wong. Amy is also a really good character. She is up there for top tier ones. She doesn't have as many combos as Fry does, throughout different Battleground effects. However, she has been getting more and more support from the devs every Battleground effect with each new release. As a standalone character, I think she is a phenomenal one to run on defense because she does have a really good HP stat at 49, and she's got Bodyguard, which is always a great skill to have. On top of that, you do have the Cripple All, which is really nice to stall out your opponents, and for being a defensive character, her attack stat at 14 isn't half bad either. What's really cool though, especially with the Armed Battleground effect going on though, is her combos. Now Amy only has one armed combo in the game currently, however it is one of the best armed combos you can have. Whale Hunter Amy is a complete monster. It has an insane amount of punch and bomb when everything is quad fused out, and it has a really good amount of jab to be breaking through the armed shields that are getting applied to all of the cards right now. So it is a phenomenal combo to be running on both offense and defense for all of these reasons. So if you have Amy and the cards to make this combo, you should absolutely be running it right now in pretty much any deck. Now as far as my top 5 combos for her go, as I mentioned, she doesn't have too many combos compared to some of the other cards in the game, so actually this Whale Hunter one is on my top 5 list. So we're going to jump right into number 2 next. So the second combo that I really like with Amy is Cute Witch of the North, which is one of her disguised combos. This is one of the best healer combos in the game for just a generic healer. When everything is quad fused out, it has an insane amount of heal in the mid to upper 20s, I believe. It also has a crap ton of cripple and a really good amount of leech. So as I mentioned earlier, any card that's a healer, usually you need a second one out there to heal it up, but since she has that leech, she's health healing on top of that, and the cripple really helps kind of prevent your opponents from doing extra damage on you. So it is a great healer to have. If you have the cards to make this combo, and if you're looking for support heals in your Rumbles or Challenge decks, this might be the way to go for you. Next up for Athletic, we have Wingnut Amy. This is another really great combo. This is kind of a powerhouse on both offense and defense. The skills lead themselves to be good on either way of that spectrum. They have the sturdy wall there, which is always good to kind of stall out your opponents, which goes hand in hand with the Cray skill there, because it kind of lets your card take less damage each turn, so you have a bit more time to build that Cray's value up till you hit that tipping point to where you're causing way more damage than your opponents can block. And on top of that, you have the punch too, so you're causing a bit more damage as well, which means you're that much closer to one-shotting your opponents and hitting that tipping point. Next up is the Thinker Ape. It is an art combo that you can make with Amy. This is a really good one to run as support on defense in my opinion. Unfortunately, it can only be made with one legendary card at this time, which is Buzzsaw, which is kind of a downer. It'd be cool if you could make it with some more cards, but at least Buzzsaw as an item is a great defensive card for art, so it goes hand in hand to be a defensive combo there in the deck. So skill-wise, as you can see, it has the sturdy one wall there, which I love, and when everything is quad fused out, the HP is up there in I think the 70s or 80s. It's up there, so it's a great combo to be tanky on top of that. Plus, it's dealing out some extra damage with some punches, and it has the Motivate to kind of pump up your card line. So it's a great support tanky combo there, which is why I really love it on defense. And lastly, number 5 is a bit of a hidden gem, Party Board. You can make this card with Amy and any vehicle card. However, there is currently only one legendary vehicle card in the game, which is Golf Ball Escape, which is why you don't really see this combo played too often at the upper levels of play. You can see why I like it though, looking at its skills there. It is phenomenal support. It's got Sturdy Wall, it's got Heal All, and Cripple All. So not only is it kind of shielding itself with the Sturdy and the Cripple All, it's also kind of protecting your other cards cards as well in the card line, and it's healing every single card in your card line, because that heal all goes to any card. It's not bound to just one show or trait, which is awesome. So this is a pretty good diverse healer as well if you want to have some healing combos in there. My only gripe with it is you can only make it with the Golf Ball Escape with legendary cards unless you're running any of the epic or lower cards for your items, in which case you have a bit more flexibility there. At the top level of play though, we're not really running anything beneath the legendary, so me personally, I can't even run this because I do not have a quad fuse of Golf Ball Escape, which makes me low-key a little bit salty. And that's going to do it for the characters in this box and my thoughts on their top combos. Before we finish out this review, let's take a quick look at the epic pre-combos of the box. So the first one is Sniper Zoidberg. As far as pre-combos go, this one leans itself way more on the offensive side than defense. 32 HP is obnoxiously low. If you run this on defense, you're gonna have a bad time. Skill-wise, it does have that payback, which is, it sucks that this is an offensive card because I love payback as a defensive skill. Especially it has the punch there too and the jab. Those are great defensive skills to have. I kind of wish the stat breakdown was reversed there and it had way more HP than it did attack. It would be a great pre-combo if that was the case. However, it's not, so you might get some use out of this on attack running it for that 16 attack value. You got some punches in there to cause a bit more damage, and the jabs will be breaking through a lot of the armed shields, but still not the biggest fan of it, so I kind of would recommend steering clear from this card unless you have no other better options to run as far as pre-combos go. On the flip side of that, the other pre-combo of the box of the epic ones is Let's Get Nuts, which I stated in my previous box review of last week's box how little I liked this combo, and that still remains true. As far as a combo goes, not the biggest fan. However, as a pre-combo, I'm actually kind of digging this, because its breakdown here, it does have a really good HP stat. Its attack is a bit lower, but if you look at its skills breakdown there, it has boost and recover. So since this is a pre-combo, I don't have to spend 2 turns trying to make this combo. That was my biggest gripe with it as a combo. For the skills that it had, I didn't feel like it was worth investing 2 turns to make it. However, as a pre-combo, I can just throw it down and forget about it. And since it has that boost and recover, if I make any other combos down the card line, I will be not only increasing the attack of this card, but also refilling its HP pool as well. And on top of that, it has the bomb damage there to be causing some flank damage. So as for a pre-combo, I think it's great to run in a defense deck because of that, and even on offense, as long as you're being strategic with the placement, you can easily turn this card into a monster. So in conclusion, the legendary pre-combo of this box is phenomenal. I love it for defense, and you guys know me, when it comes to pre-combos, I'm always looking for those defensive ones, so absolutely love it there. As for the items, I do really like all of the items in it. I like it that there is a kind of OP attack item, that there is a versatile one that can work great on defense. Kind of a ding against it that it has the one of the older items in there with Doomsday Device, but hey, that's the par with Kong. They usually release some old items in the box with the new ones, for at least some of the early ones when they release it like that, so can't say I'm too surprised about it. At the very least though, despite Doomsday being an old card, like I said, I did really like it for offense, so not a bad way to go on that. As for the characters, I think both characters are phenomenal ones to have. I don't really have faults with either of them. Fry is just a great one to have multiple quad fuse copies of. He's a great versatile character to run across almost any battleground effect on offense. And on inverse to that, Amy is a great one to run on defense, and quite a few different ones as well. And as you saw, she has quite a few fun combos in there as well. As for your epic pre-combos, Sniper Zoidberg, honestly, not too impressed by it, not gonna lie there. However, Let's Get Nuts as a pre-combo, I absolutely love that card and think it would be a great fit in a defense deck and can be a really good tool in the right situation on offense. So when I factor these all in together, I have to give this box a slightly better than average score of 4 out of 5 golden turds. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to click that like button, and if you're new to the channel or haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and also be sure to click that little bell icon so you get notified of new uploads. Thanks again, guys. Till next time.